Hello everyone, it's Luphisra here. Today I'll be playing Murders on the Yangtze River. So this is a game that's set in the early 20th century of China. And I figured, since it's Chinese New Year right now, why not? No, play a Chinese game. It's said to be really similar to Ace Attorney. Like in the description on its Steam page, it says it's like an Ace Attorney-like game. I know of the Ace Attorney games. I have it. I've not played it though, so we'll see. Let's just get started. Why not? Wear headphones. I am wearing headphones. Okay.
How many times have you returned to this point? I have not counted.
This is a trailer,
Yes.
isn't it? The game trailer?
You're here almost every single night. And as time goes by, your memory is beginning to fade.
Oh, this game is loud.
Don't stand in my way. No matter how long I linger here, no matter how deep the truth is hidden within the shadows, I will find it.
I'll turn the volume down later, I'm sorry. That cutscene, it like
Then I guess you
went into the red bar.
have no time to lose. The key to the case is that book.
You know that from a dream? Okay.
我曾与死亡签契，
Okay, it is Chinese, okay.
静候他的到来。今夜，他终于叩响了门扉。
What, so Death looking for you now? And yes, he's dead. Wait, no, he's not. Sorry, I'm blocking the way. Oh. Someone died and he was framed? Okay. Imagine the police knocking on the door.
快开门！再不开门就闯进去了。
He's framed. He's definitely framed.
哎呀，这可如何是好啊！罗翁，
30 minutes later. So he's arrested.
大人，这杀人犯竟然在现场睡着了。头好晕，思绪一点都不清晰。杀人犯，这是在说我吗？
I mean, duh. Of course he's talking about you. He's probably drugged, I imagine. Or knocked out or something. Okay. Left and right, A, B. Can't
老
move.
实点，别动！你这个杀人犯！
Oh, shut up.
不是我，我是一名侦探，到此。狡辩！你竟敢杀了罗翁！
Would you shut up for once?
麻布头勿要激动，让他把话说完吧。验明正身还是必要的。
See, listen to the judge.
在下沈仲平，是一名旅行侦探。
Okay.
我和我的助手阿福，是昨天晚上才到这座小镇的，为取一份旧案的线索。我们乘的船中途出故障了，折腾到深夜才靠岸。
Oh, this is the cutscene, so I'm playing as this guy now. I can control him?
没想到咱们这么晚才到，
还不是因为我们的天才发明家烧了发电机。
这是船长的错。我很早就提醒过他换零件了。
船长最大的错误，就是让你碰发电机。
Okay. Hello, cute for casual. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. I just started. You didn't miss much. Okay. So this is the main detective and the assistant. Why is this girl crying?
好像有个姐姐在哭啊。
姑娘，你还好吗？
I like that it's voice acted. And why did you run away?
诶，怎么跑了？
或许有难言之隐吧。
那我们继续赶路吧。话说回来，你要拜访的这位作家，真的跟那桩悬案有关？
我有预感，他会成为案子的突破口。往院子里走，就到目的地了。咱们一会儿见。
啊，我不一起吗？
你得找零件修船。
好吧，好吧，早点回来，我去找零件了。
Oh yeah, you shouldn't have done that. I should let this person stay with you. So what is this cult all about? Well, there's no cult here. So sorry. But there's murder mystery.
谁呀？都这么晚了。
在下沈仲平，与罗贝先生约好今日见面，途中遭遇风暴，耽误了行程，不敢失了先生的约，才冒昧深夜前来。
沈仲平，我们什么时候见过吗？
我们素未谋面，一直都是书信来往。
啊，想起来了，请稍等啊。
Okay.
沈先生，请进。
So he went in and then something happened? He died?
麻烦沈先生稍等一下，我得把手头的故事写完，怕断了思路。
没关系，我在一旁静候便是。
晚上天凉，想麻烦先生帮我关门，挂上门栓。
This is suspicious. About to change that? Well, no. I ain't into cults, sorry. But you can join the detective agency, help me solve some mysteries here. There's gonna be a murder that's gonna happen soon. And no, I did not kill the guy, okay? We're the detective. A Western-style mirror. Seems out of place compared with the other furniture in this room. Okay. A wardrobe slightly taller than a person. Lock hangs from the handles. This place has a Discord. I mean, I have a Discord. I think if you could put like exclamation mark Discord, it'll pop up. You can try that. Piles of old books underneath the novelist's bed. They're all covered in dust, which means that he has not read them in quite a while.
门已关上，先生可以放心。我这次前来，确实是有要事。先生可曾听说过3年前发生在英国伦敦的那种奇案？
Wait, he's connected to a murder case in London?
案子的事情我们慢慢聊。沈先生舟车劳顿，应该还没有吃东西吧？这里有些本地特色的潮糕。 就在我旁边的箱子上，请先生务必尝一尝。
那就恭敬不如从命了。
It's definitely drugged. It's definitely drugged.
盘子里摆着几块晶莹剔透的糕点，确实有些饿了，我就吃一块吧。
And he went unconscious, I'm sure of it.
不对，这糕里
So he passed out and then the guy died.
事情就是这样。我吃下那块炒糕后就晕了过去，直到大人们出现。
你说，你是被人下药了才晕倒在房间中的吗？
Wait, it was dark just now, now it's bright. Well, sun rises so quickly.
的确如此。
狡辩！即便被人下药了，凶手也只可能是你。
What in the fucking logic? If I'm passed out, how do you think I killed the man? Huh? What kind of fuck?
本部手握铁证，是绝技不可能弄错的。
Oh, shut up.
不知能否请马捕头详细说一说，你手中的铁证是什么？
大胆，竟敢挑衅本部！
理越辩越明，知县大人也一定想听听你的分析，才能避免弄错。
罗佩是本地名人，本官必要给乡民一个交代。马捕头就说说吧，人抓的我也安心点儿。
好，让你清楚自己是如何被抓的。
Yeah, deduction.
禀张知县，原因很简单，直到我们发现尸体之前，这个房间都处于密闭的状态。
密闭状态。
屋内唯一的窗户装有木格，人是不可能进出的。屋门又是从内侧插上了门栓，若非本捕一脚踹断了门栓，我们都进不了屋。这意味着，凶手只可能是案发时还在屋内的人。 也就是你，
怎么会这样？房间是密闭的，还是我自己挂上的门栓？
哼，理是不是越辩越明了？还不认罪？
Has to be a secret door somewhere, right?
马捕头刚刚的分析还是很清晰的，我想应该不会弄错了。
Do you guys not go around looking, like around the room, investigate a little bit? All you do is just stand in place and do nothing?
沈先生，除非你能出示一份能证明你自己无辜的决定性证据，否则本官就要下令将你羁押了。
我的双手都被绑着，该如何在这么短的时间里找到决定性的证据？沈仲平，你要冷静下来，通过观察和推理来解决问题。
Okay.
一切行为都会在现场留下痕迹。我很清楚被害人不是我杀的，有人设了局来陷害我。因此，在现场遗留的痕迹中，一定能找到所谓的矛盾存在。在回答知县的问题前，我必须先仔细观察一下现场。
Okay, let's take a look around. The victim died facing upwards with multiple wounds on his chest, coats stained with blood. My hands and feet are tied, so I can't get any closer to see any other details of the corpse. Several long continuous blood splatters on the floor. They are cast-off pattern bloodstains. There is an evident gap within the three longest bloodstains. How could this be? A gap in bloodstain was most likely caused by something being removed. The disruption of the bloodstain was likely because something blocked the path of the splatter. The appearance of a gap shows that something that was once there has been removed. A short blade stained with blood. This should be the murder weapon. Found within my grasp and now seen as evidence against me. The victim died facing upwards. Okay. No more, Okay, one more stuff. I can see my reflection in the mirror. My face is pale and I look quite dreadful. I do somewhat resemble a murderer. The blood on my sleeve most probably belongs to the deceased. Seems like there's also blood on my back as well. Good moving, you punk. What are you trying at? Officer Murr, did I trouble you to help me take off my coat? Wait, how dare you order me around? I would like to take a look at the back to see if it is also stained with blood. Indeed, Mrs. Shen, there are blood stains on your back. That's gotta be Master Lo's blood. Okay, so I was lying down when he died then. Because otherwise I should not have blood on my clothes, right?
找到能自证清白的证据了吗？
这件证据就能证明我的清白。请问马捕头，一个背对死者的人，能够用刀杀人吗？
自然不能。
那么，这件血衣便能证明我的清白。
难道这血衣不是你的？
是我的，正穿在我身上。
真是胡闹！你手上持刀，衣服沾血，还敢说自己无罪？
沈先生，这件血衣如何能证明你是无辜的？
You two are acting very dumb. I will say that.
看衣服上血渍的位置，出现在背后，而不是胸前。
这又能说明什么呢？
说明死者的血溅出时，我是背对着他的。我既然背对死者，自然无法举刀扎他的胸膛，因此凶手不是我。
哼，你定是在杀人的时候把衣服反过来穿了。这种鬼把戏，本部见得多了。
What kind of stupid？
马捕头，请看这里，地上有2道走势连续的抛甩状血迹，它们的中间有一个明显的断层。断层的出现，说明在那里原本有一个遮挡物，后来移动了位置。
Which is me, obviously.
难道有人破坏了现场？
那个遮挡物，应该就是我自己。我没猜错的话，我背上的血渍，应该能与地上的血迹拼合起来。这便能证明，案发时我已经晕倒在地上，而倒在地上的我，是没办法持刀捅人，并留下那样的血迹的。
Exactly, and I was unconscious too.
有一定道理。
因此，事实的真相是，凶手杀死罗佩后，把刀柄塞到我手中，借机嫁祸给我。
即便全身被绑，也能冷静地分析、还原现场情况。沈先生，令我刮目相看呐！
I'm a genius detective, duh.
看来你果然是个侦探。
大人过奖了，我的嫌疑终于洗清了吗？
哼，屋内就你和罗翁，你不是凶手，难道罗翁是自杀不成？
若想知道真相，我需要全面地调查一下现场。但我手脚被绑，调查不便。不知张大人是否可以
麻布头，要不我们给他松绑？
大人，关依他。
大人放心，在查清案子之前，我绝不离开这里。
哼！你要是敢在我眼皮子底下耍花招，本部绝不轻饶。
Oh, shut up! Untie me already, damn it. Finally allowed to move around in this room. Okay. Need to investigate this crime scene as quick as possible. I can't miss a single detail. Okay. Throughout investigations, I will surely encounter many doubts. I should think carefully. Press a button on the left corner of view suspicions. Did Lopei commit suicide? Lopei and I were alone in the locked room. I didn't kill anyone. If so, then Lopei committing suicide would be the only possibility. However, he could not have freed me for her death after committing suicide. Perhaps I'll be able to find some answers from Lopei's corpse. This is Lopei's corpse. Should I commence an autopsy now? External autopsy. His chest is stained with blood. Among the three evident stab wounds, 2 were fatal. The wound is small and deep. The shape of the wound is consistent with the blood-stained dagger. The locations of the 3 stab wounds are irregular and in different directions as well. His mustache is crooked. Upon further inspection, there's glue from the underside. The mustache shape looks Western, not Han Chinese. Apparently, the deceased is wearing a fake mustache. Okay. Can I look at the... There's white powder on the collar of the deceased. Feels like something made from glutinous rice. These are crumbs from the rice cake. It seems that Lopei had eaten a rice cake before he died. So, he might be unconscious too, because we fell unconscious and he fell unconscious as well. Okay, the lips I've looked at. Limbs. There were no abnormalities found on the limbs of the deceased. No hesitation wounds or defense wounds are present on any part of his body. That is quite peculiar. So yeah, he definitely was passed out, unconscious when he was attacked. The deceased is in his undergarments and his coat is gone. I've searched the entire room for it, but it is nowhere to be found. If this room's a locked room, how could the coat disappear into thin air? A faint fragrance can be smelled from the hair of the deceased. The scent isn't from flowers, incense or cologne. It seems to resemble a scent similar to camphor wood. This is the autopsy report. Completed investigations on the corpse. I need to reconsider relative clouds of doubt. So let's look around. Okay, no, wait. I have to look at this one first. Okay. The Lopei committed suicide. I did not find any hesitation wounds on Lopei. That is very unusual for a suicide case. There are no injuries caused by a fight or a fall. It is also quite unusual for a homicide case. Perhaps this can explain why there aren't any defense wounds. The reason why there weren't any defense wounds was because Lopei ate the rice cake that contained knockout drugs, the same ones I ate. He was in a state of unconsciousness when he was murdered. There must have been another person in the room at the time. That person is the murderer. Who could it have been? How were they able to leave the locked room? So I hung the door latch. Lopei and I were the only ones inside until Officer Ma broke in. The only way to enter or exit the room is by going through the wooden front door. How did the murderer leave the scene without removing the door latch? Or perhaps the other way. How did the murderer latch the door from the outside? If the room was locked, the code could not have disappeared, yes, so the fact that the code of the deceased is missing is particularly odd. Assuming Ma was honest, before they arrived on scene, the room was locked with no way in or out. Then, this code must definitely still be inside this room. I should talk with Luphisra. I need to obtain more information on the code. There are several pieces of rice cakes on the plate, but now they're all gone. I can see my reflection in the Western style mirror. Will I be able to clear my name? Let's talk to him first. Uncle, now that you're gone, I'm truly alone. I'm sorry for your loss. In order to uncover the truth, I need to ask you a few questions. You're the one who murdered him. There's no need for your crocodile tears. Someone murdered your uncle and framed me. I'm sure you would like to find out the truth as much as I do. Go on and ask me then. Please tell me about the events you encountered this morning. Every morning, I come by my uncle's place to help him with jobs that he's too busy to deal with. There has to be someone to take care of mundane tasks like cleaning up and feeding the chickens. What do you do for a living? My uncle pays me. I also help him organize his manuscripts sometimes. I can't speak, I'm sorry. I understand. Please continue recounting what happened this morning. I came to visit Uncle, like usual. I couldn't hear a sound from the room, which was strange. When I arrived, I saw Yangtze was already here. He said he didn't see my uncle either. I knocked on the door for quite a while, but no one answered. I have a sensitive nose, so I kept sensing the smell of blood coming from the inside of the room. I felt like something was terribly wrong, so I told Yangtze to hurry and get someone. When we finally entered the room, I found that my uncle had been murdered. Okay. Within your uncle's interpersonal relationships, have you ever noticed someone suspicious? Aren't you the most suspicious person? Then let me pose this question differently. Did your uncle hold any grudges against anyone? My uncle was very friendly, but he held some kind of grudge against Yangtze, the errand runner. What kind of grudge? Yangtze attempted to steal coins from the table during a delivery, but my uncle caught him. Yangtze was seized by the government and got beaten for it too. When did this occur? It was about a half a month ago, so I'm sure he's still bitter about it. Ooh, suspect. Do you suspect that Yangtze murdered him out of vengeance? After all, he's the one who delivers rice cakes to my uncle. Also, when I arrived here this morning, he was already here. I don't know how long it had been. Now that I recall, he did have a sort of sneaky look on his face. It seems that it is necessary to talk about this issue with Yangtze. Go on and okay. Your uncle's attire coat, deerstalker, and false mustache was quite unusual. The hat and the mustache were all characteristics of his novelist identity. He purposely dressed himself up this way to become famous. So that ill-fitting strange coat was also one of his characteristics? Strange coat? You mean that western wind coat he wore all the time? Precisely, the wind coat made of silk. The tailor-made coat was one of my uncle's characteristics. He spent a lot to hire the best tailor and use the best fabric for the coat, but it turned out... The fact that this wind coat is not present at the crime scene is what caught my attention. So you're saying that my uncle's coat disappeared into thin air? Perhaps the murderer took it with them. The way you said it, Mr. Shen, sounds as if it was a plot from a novel. Okay, Lopez's desk is placed in front of the window. When I met him last night, he was bent over his desk writing the entire time. Let me take a look at what he has on his desk. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Quit moving around. I need to examine the desk and see if there are any clues. Who knows if there are any unpublished manuscripts sitting on the desk. You can't just go snooping around and touching stuff. Officer Ma, I understand your concerns, but I merely wish to investigate. I'll be careful. You better be. I'll be keeping a close eye on you from right here. Okay, shut up and stop interrupting me. Here's a book titled Tales of the Moon Colony. Okay, there are several magazines underneath it, all of which are illustrated fiction. A stack of newspapers, various issues of the Shanghai News have all published Lopez works. A common white glazed candlestick. There's still half a stick of unburned candle on top. A rack with 4 calligraphy brushes hanging on it. A piece of old paper underneath the rack. The ink on one of the calligraphy brushes have not dried out yet. A simple square-shaped inkstone. There are several plum bosses engraved on one side. There's a layer of residue ink on the inkstone that is starting to harden into a gel state. Stack of books on the table, including The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. The dude reads Adventures of Sherlock Holmes? This is the early 20th century in China. Has Sherlock Holmes been published then already? I need to look that up. There's a pile of blank rice papers in the drawer with a paperweight placed on top. Next to the papers are 2 new pens, 3 candles, and a box of matches. There's also a small box. It is an ink cartridge made of tin, holding a half-used ink block. A frame on the window that would stop a person from climbing in or out. No traces of scaling. 19th century is in the 1800s, so yeah, it seems so. Oh, okay. Fascinating. There's a fan of Sherlock Holmes way out here in China. Okay. I didn't know that. But I think it shouldn't be surprising, I guess, if, like, I imagine... I might be wrong, so don't quote me on this, but I think, like, there's starting to have a bit of, like, Western influence in China at the time. No, so not surprising that they have a book on Sherlock Holmes, right? Oh, so hello, Montario. Welcome to the stream. Okay, looked at the desk. Kind of crazy how so many historical events take place around the same time. Exactly, like, you know, it's hard to think about, you know, because, like, when you look at China from around that time, it still looks very old. Like what you see in the movies and the dramas, you know, like you still wear like really like the old-fashioned clothes, and then you look at like the Western folks, you know, from around that time period. It doesn't seem like to be from the same time, so you kind of not like think about that. Which, by the way, speaking of historical events, this game, you know, as y'all know, I've said this before, it's really similar to Ace Attorney, which I'm sure you guys can already tell. There are similar elements, right? But there's one difference. The Ace Attorney games are fictional, like completely fictional. However, from what I know, since I looked up the game a little bit, there have been reviews of people saying that this game included real historical events and stuff that from around that time that this game takes place in. So early 20th century China. So there is like real historical shit, you know, that is referenced and stuff in the game. Unlike Ace Attorney. So that's one difference. Okay. A wardrobe slightly taller than a person, it's locked. And yes, it has been very long, Ontario. How have you been? What have you been doing? Need to get the lock open. I give up. If only Afu was here. He's very skilled in things like this. Piles of old books underneath the novelist's bed. They're all covered in dust, which means that he has not read them quite a while. A walnut bedside table. There are books and several old newspapers on top. Within the bedside table are undergarments and such. One of these newspapers carried the news of Lope publishing his novel. The photo on this newspaper. The one on the left is Lope, and the one on the right seems to be the lady we saw last night. According to this, the young lady is Liu Picheng or Liu Peicheng. Liu Picheng. That's not a nice Chinese name for a girl. An editor who helped Lope publish his books. I can technically read all of this, but I'm not going to. Can I see is there the name of the lady written here somewhere that I can actually like say what exactly her name is? I don't think I see it. Well, never mind. Not important. Ever heard of the hypothetical where Abraham Lincoln could have received a fax from a samurai? I have not heard of that before. Is that a theory, like a conspiracy theory? I want to know. I gotta look that up. Well enough. My new year has a slow start. What about you? Well, a lot have happened in the beginning of the year and from last year as well. There's been good news. I've switched my working place, which I can't go into detail, but all you need to know is that stuff happened at work. There's been drama at my previous workplace. I have since transferred out to another location, which the current location I'm at, they want to keep me there, so that's some good news at least. Working with really nice people now, so that I'm pretty happy about that. Those three all exist around the same time. Wait, really? So Abraham Lincoln being like assassinated, you know, and then Sherlock Holmes, and then of course this game, all existed around the same time? No. Sherlock Holmes and Abraham Lincoln? Wait. That is so confusing. And surprising, actually. Okay. According to Lo Shiwen, this code was tailor-made for Lope. The code was one of the characteristics of Lope's novelist identity. He always wore it. Something of such importance ought to be left at the scene. However, it is no longer in this room. The murderer is the only person who has left this room. He must have taken the code with him. The murderer must have had a reason to do so. He probably wanted to sell or something. Okay, well, a version of the fax machine and Abe Lincoln and Samurai, yes. Sherlock came a bit after, but not by much. So, Sherlock would be young when Abraham Lincoln was still alive, but he existed around that time, is what you're saying, right? Lo Shiwen stated that Yang was responsible for delivering rice cakes to Lope. Theoretically, Yang had the chance to tamper with the rice cakes. He also had the motive. Could it be that Yang killed him out of revenge? I need to confirm this issue with Yang. Nothing useful on the desk. However, I felt something unusual about it. It seems like something is missing. What could it be? It's the manuscript, isn't it? Ah, there's some like history stuff. Okay, we can read that. Detective. The Chinese word for detective appeared in the Song Dynasty from 960 to 1279 at the latest. Originally used as a verb meaning to inspect and inquire, the word was later developed to also be used as a noun. For example, the arms mentioned in the memorandum for the reprisal of matters in G-Town. Oh my god, that is so fucking complicated. Written during the Ming Dynasty included detective, which is equivalent to scouts in modern times. By the end of the Qing Dynasty and the beginning of the Republic of China, with the emergence of large quantities of detective fiction such as Detective World and the stories of Sherlock Holmes, the term detective had evolved to refer specifically to investigators working on a case. Oh, nice! Good little fiction, like history stuff. Oh, this is an actual book? I thought it was a game thing, but it was not. Tales of the Moon Colony can be rated as the ancestor of Chinese science fiction. Written by Huangjiang Diaosuo. It was serialized in illustrated fiction between 1904 to 1905 with a total of 35 chapters and no ending. The subject of the novel is a peculiar balloon in which the main character travels across the sea in search of his wife and children, whilst encountering aliens from the moon. This novel combines the vernacular style of traditional novels with the essence of science fiction, creating a work of high artistic value in the late Qing Dynasty. Lincoln was unalived in 1965. Sherlock Holmes would be published in 1887 when it was still in the magazines. Okay. But not talking about the like real life. What year is Sherlock supposed to be in? Like, did it say ever in the novels like what exact year was he operating from? Because I imagine it's definitely in like the 1800s, right? But like, when exactly? Because it's really hard to say. Okay. Let me read more of this. 1880 to 1914. Okay, so he came about after Abraham Lincoln, I guess. A little bit after. That's pretty neat. I know they never mentioned, I don't think so at least. I didn't play all of the games, but in the Sherlock Holmes game, it was supposed to be 1800s, I think. And fun fact, which I've mentioned this before, if you have played the Sherlock Holmes games, Hercule Poirot exists in that game, but he's a kid. So if you're talking about like the Sherlock Holmes like game timeline, Sherlock Holmes would be a bit older than Hercule Poirot, and he'll be very old by the time Hercule Poirot grows up, because he's still a kid when Sherlock and Watson meets him. So it's Sherlock Holmes and then Hercule Poirot, you know, which is really fun. I like to link it together somehow. But I actually don't know when specifically Hercule Poirot exists. Like, I know it's like he would be in his like an adult, and I know because in Evil Under the Sun, the game, I don't know if they changed this from the books or something, because I know that game, it's quite similar to the books, from what I know. And in that game, Evil Under the Sun was around World War II, like right before the start of World War II. So Hercule Poirot would have been 30 something, 40 latest at the time. If he was born after, he was born when Sherlock Holmes was still alive, so he would be born, earliest would be like the late 1800s, like really late 1800s. Or, no. That would be too old. 19... Very early 1900s. Yeah, the game timeline and the Sherlock Holmes timelines from the books is definitely not the same. Because it wouldn't make sense. Like how is like Hercule Poirot still alive? Like, and having black hair and black mustache when during Evil Under the Sun. I don't know. I'm gonna stop thinking about that. I'm just gonna focus on this. Let me read this. I'm going on a tangent. Okay. Late Qing Dynasty detective fiction. By the end of the Qing Dynasty, under the influence and intervention of new ideas, Chinese people were increasingly eager to explore Western culture. During this time, novels easily became new favorites due to their accessibility and widespread publication, amongst which Western detective fiction, which, with its intricate plots and ingenious case designs, became the top choice for the majority of people. The Stories of Sherlock Holmes was a big hit ever since it was first translated into Chinese and published in the Current Affairs newspaper in 1896. Fascinating. I like that they included some like historical stuff. Okay. Cast off pattern bloodstains. Cast off pattern bloodstains are created when blood is released or thrown from a blood-bearing object in motion onto a surface. Linear or arc-shaped in general, they are often distributed on surfaces situated in higher locations, such as at the end of the walls and ceilings. At times, the same cast-off pattern bloodstain will span across two surfaces: the ceiling and the wall and the floor, etc. Hesitation wounds. Hesitation wounds, also known as tentative cuts, refer to a series of self-inflicted shallow cuts made by people considering a suicide attempt before the final cut that causes death. These non-lethal cuts may be due to psychological contradictions, trying out the weapon to test its sharpness, experiencing feelings of pain, etc. Defense wounds refer to injuries inflicted upon the victim when resisting an attack from the assailant. There are generally two types of defense wounds: incise wounds on the palms and finger joints, penetrating wounds on the palms and arms. Defense wounds don't appear in every homicide case, however. The presence of a defense wound, especially multiple defense wounds, must be key evidence of murder. I really like that they include these like small facts. It's fascinating. I kind of opened the wardrobe. The desk I explored, the manuscript's not there. The corpse I've seen, and then I investigated this guy. Corpse. Can I? Book box. The wooden box is filled with books that Lope published. Ghosts in the Well, Bells and Bones, Mysterious Echo, The Confined Room Mystery. Unfortunately, this copy of The Confined Room Mystery is not the original manuscript. You like The Confined Room Mystery too? The reason why I came to visit Lope was to speak with him about this book. You got good taste. The death scenes of Confined Room Mystery were absolutely stunning. Officer Ma, do you know where the inspiration of this book comes from? Ain't got a clue, but Master Lo was an extraordinary fellow. Anything could have inspired him. But if we're talking about good storytelling, it's gotta be Schwartzman case. It's a real dang shame we'll never get to read the next volume. Judge Chang, do you notice anything out of the ordinary when you arrived? Well, I was not aware of anything unusual. Lo Shuan shook the door, Officer Ma kicked it open, and we found you and Lope covered in blood. I suppose no one suspicious was discovered during that process. Well, none at all. What kind of person was Lope? Lope gained great fame when his book Chamber of Doubts was serialized in the Shanghai News. As the first celebrity to come from this town in decades, naturally he was loved by all. This town was originally named Qingxi Town to comply with popular will. We named it Peiro Town. Peiro Town in English. I don't know the Chinese words for that. There is like a Chinese language setting, I think, but obviously I'm playing this in English because otherwise you guys won't understand anything. All right, I understand now. Okay, can talk to Officer Ma. I can't believe law will allow you to join in on investigations. Don't even try to play any tricks. I'm watching your every move. As assured, officer, I will uncover the actual murderer. You better. Keep in mind, don't mess up the crime scene with your incompetence. Alright. In order to find out the truth, I would like Officer Mar to answer a few of my questions. Go on then, ask away. Officer Mar, were there any other people present when you arrived on the scene? What happened? Why are you asking so much? Are you trying to say that I didn't protect the crime scene? Let me give you facts. Everything is exactly the way it was when we arrived. No one's allowed to mess with the crime scene under my watch. You misunderstand me, Officer Ma. I just want to know what happened, what happenings occurred before I awoke. It's sad that not everything is voiced because I have to read some stuff. It's making my mouth dry. When we got here, Lo Shun was shaking the door, saying he smelled blood coming from inside. I was worried about Master Lo, so I went up to the door and kicked it right open. After that, well, you know what happened after. I suppose no one could have come in or gone out during that period. Obviously, I've got a soldier standing guard outside the courtyard. We searched the entire premise, but we didn't find others, during which no one left either. That's why the murderer is definitely you. Who else could it be, huh? I understand. Once I completed my investigation, I will explain everything to you, Officer Ma. Go on then. Officer Ma, it seems you admire the victim? Well, of course, Master Lo was a great novelist. Everybody respects him. Does Lope have any relatives? His wife died young and they had no children. He's got a good-for-nothing nephew, though. Over there, the one who won't quit sobbing. Stop crying already, I'm sick of that awful noise. Alright. I mean, he lost his uncle. Give him a break. I look in the courtyard. A simple and modest front door made of pine wood. The broken latch still hangs on the door, exposing the brown lines within. Officer Mar, did you say that you broke this door latch with your kick? When I got here, that Losu was shaking the door with all his might. What good would that do when the door is locked from the inside? I got anxious, so I went up and bam, kicked the door right open. Okay. It might be just me, but these are red. So I'm thinking it might be blood. If that's the case, if there is supposed to be blood here, I would imagine the latch would have blood too, but this latch is clean. I might be overthinking things though, I'm just saying.
先生，可算等到你了。
Oh, our assistant.
我听说屋里发生了命案。
This is Afu. Yeah, a bit murder.
大人有令，凶案现场不许喧哗。
先生，你看起来脸色很差，不要紧吧？
我没事，不过在查明真相之前，怕是得滞留在这里了。
找到凶手了吗？最大嫌疑人是谁？
目前嫌疑最大的人。
原来凶手。
Sorry, I skipped over the last part of his conversation. My bad.
我来帮忙。
哎，大人有令，闲杂人等不得入内。
兵老爷，我可不是什么闲杂人等。
大人有令，要俺守住此门，反正你不得入内。
军爷，张大人让你守住院门，是为了拦住那些与查案无关的人，对吧？
这是不假。
若是与案子有关的人，理应让他进来，这样才不会耽误了查案，不是吗？
倒也对。
兵老爷，沈先生不幸成为此案的嫌疑人，正殚精竭虑地调查真相，给自己洗清冤屈。而我是他的助手，那你说我是不是与查案有关？
俺明白了。
兵老爷果然是明白人。
你是帮凶，帮凶与查案也有关。
This guy's talking so slow, jeez.
接受调查，不能耽误了查案。
大致情况就是这样。
唉，
Soldier Chen is the soldier of all time. All right, well, yeah, he is doing his job at least. Can't fault him for that.
这就是你对案子的评价？
哪里？我只是在感慨自己成为帮凶这件事。
Yeah, sorry about
那
that.
你进来就不错了，赶紧帮我查现场。
好嘞。
Let's look at the rice cakes. Hey, Shen, what is this? These rice cakes are a local delicacy. I ate a piece last night. Why did you pause, Shen? How do you feel after you ate a piece last night? I do not feel much. I ate a piece last night and lost consciousness right after. Oh, I like Afu. Afu is one of my favorite characters now. He's hilarious. Seeing your reaction, this bundle of rice cake probably is not laced with knockout drugs. Oh my god, he's funny. He's so funny. Yeah. Mr. Official, when can I go? I still have some steamed buns to deliver this morning. Excuse me. Who may you be? My name is Yangtze. I run errands on the daily. I was the one who called the officials today. May I ask you about the case? Of course. Everyone around knows that I'm warm-hearted, considerate, helpful, friendly. Just tell me about what happened this morning. Master Lo loves rice cakes. Every morning, Master Lo will ask me to deliver a bundle. As I specialize in errand running, my service is 100% impeccable. Everyone around here knows. Just tell me what you saw when you arrived at Lo Pei's courtyard. Usually, Master Lo is already out of bed and exercising in the courtyard waiting for me. This morning when I came to deliver rice cakes, as usual, I didn't see Lo Pei anywhere. I thought he probably overslept, so I hollered for him, but there was no response. I saw the gates were open, so I went inside the courtyard and put the rice cakes on the table. Then somebody called out to me. It was Master Lo's nephew, Lo Shiwen. He went over to knock on the door, but there's still no response at all. Lo Shiwen smelled blood and asked me to call officials. I was so scared that I ran all the way to the government office and got Officer Ma. Officer Ma and Lo Shiwen kicked open the door together while I waited outside. You mean to say that you never entered Lo Pei's house? After hearing someone died in there, my legs were scared stiff. How could I dare go in? I was planning to leave, but a soldier came and blocked the gate, so I got stranded here. I understand now, thank you. Is there anything else you want to ask? How much do you know about Lope? Master Lo is a celebrity, and I'm just an errand runner. Since Officer Ma is familiar with Master Lo, why don't you go and ask Officer Ma about this? Oh? What do you mean by that? I caught sight of Master Lo and Officer Ma meeting in private several times, though. Are they close friends with one another? However, there was one time when they got into a fight and Officer Ma even unsheathed his blade. What were they arguing about? I didn't have the guts to eavesdrop. Officer Ma was already fuming. I need to confirm the dispute, Officer Ma. Okay, is there anything else? Okay, rice cakes. The rice cake Lope eats are delivered by you, is that correct? Sure, I deliver them every day. Everyone knows that I do my job seriously. I passed out after eating rice cake last night. Apparently it was laced with knockout drugs. What? That wasn't me. I didn't do that. Don't be ridiculous. I have nothing against Lope and never even met you before. Why would I do that? Did the rice cakes you delivered to Lope ever pass through the hands of someone else? Impossible! If something's handed to me, there's no way I'll give it to someone else. But I heard he loves rice cakes. He'll never turn them down. Maybe it was a gift from a reader. Do you know of anyone who gifted him rice cakes? Not a clue. How about you let me go and ask Mr. Cow? Everyone around knows that I'm... No, thank you. Young, I heard that you once had a grudge with Lope. Is that true? No way. How could I ever have the guts to hold a grudge against Master Lo? Lope noticed you stealing his money and you were beaten at the court for it. Am I wrong? That was a misunderstanding. How could that even count as a grudge? I saw silver coins on the floor, so I wanted to pick them up and return them to him. That's all in the past. If Mr. Shen hadn't reminded me, I would have forgotten about it already. That was only half a month ago. You're forgetting so soon? Could it be that you felt wronged by Lope and decided to kill him out of vengeance? That's a wrongful accusation. I don't even have the guts to kill a chicken, let alone a person. When you arrived on the scene this morning, were there any other people around? No one, but Beloso arrived pretty much right after. I already told you everything about my morning in detail. Do you need me to repeat myself? No, thank you. Okay, no more questions. Thank you for asking. Look, Shen, there are 2 free-range chickens here. Sure, 2 chickens. Do you think they're involved in the case? I heard that the free-range chickens in this area have delicious meat because they walk so much. He wants some fried chicken. Did fried chicken exist back then? I think so, right? Can't be just a really, really modern thing. But you know what? I'm gonna go take a break first a little bit. I gotta stretch my legs. So for those of you who are watching on YouTube, thank y'all so much for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care.